So, this first slide. Apparently, the whole quote isn't there. I didn't realize that at first. But who we are. Okay, so no book can teach you how to cry with a patient. No class can teach you how to tell their family that their parents have died or are dying. No professor can teach you how to find dignity in giving someone a bed bath. A nurse is not about the pills or the charting. It's about being able to love people when they are at their weakest moments. Okay? This quote, you might have to let me know where it came from eventually, because what you're going to notice, you probably won't notice right now, but eventually you go, hey, I saw that before. Like I said, in Bio 43 Patho, there is no week on ethics. Okay? Therefore, I didn't have any PowerPoints to steal from them to adapt. So what I did is I asked my daughter, and she gave me a PowerPoint from your critical care nursing course, which I think is a block 1 course. So then I took that PowerPoint and basically chopped it up, made a few revisions here and there, and now you have it. So you're going to see it again if you do the GCU nursing program anyway, but it'll be like twice as long and a lot more to it. Okay? And maybe you'll find the first half of this quote too. I didn't realize I chopped it. All right. So our objectives this week are pretty straightforward. Explain the nurse's role in practicing ethical and moral behavior when caring for patients. Okay. Seems pretty general, but we'll talk about it in more detail. And then reflect on personal philosophy of the clinical patient as a child of God. Okay. Now, we do get into some Christianity in here, and you will see, again, we understand that there are a lot of people that are here at GCU that are not religious at all, or even Christian. And that's okay. We're not trying to convert anybody necessarily. We're trying to point out that, as you will see, the similarities between the Christian worldview and the role of the nurse and the ethics committees and ethics boards and the ethical guidelines are pretty darn similar. Okay? They're very, very closely related when you're taking care of the patient. Okay? That make sense? Speaking of that, we also put up a DQ for you this week that will show up on this next slide. But first off, anybody have any idea what this means? This was taken from the New Testament, Matthew. It's her background for her phone. Same version? New International?
Yeah.
Okay. So, all right, so it says, the king will reply, truly I tell you, whatever you did for one of the least of these brothers and sisters of mine, you did for me. What does that mean? Why are we bringing this up in, again, a nursing context? What does it mean to you? Keeping in mind, I am not...
That you treat people equally, regardless of their religion or ethnicity or gender, basically.
Okay. Treat people equally. And then what if you do things for these people, these regardless of... Okay. So then what? What is the I don't know what you call it. Yeah.
Basically what it's saying is whatever you do for that one person who's sick or homeless or whatever it is, you do that not only for the greater community that you live in, but you do it for God's kingdom as well.
Okay. Good. This goes back to that second objective. All right. So again, this is the part where the Christian worldview, looking at each clinical patient, looking at everybody as a child of God fits in with the nursing philosophy and ethical guidelines, okay? So regardless of what they are like, and you will get that, I promise you will get patients you do not like, okay? This is where that fits in. That make sense? I tell you about that, and it's not always just poor people, hungry, thirsty, homeless either, okay? Like Bridget said, it applies to everybody. Can I tell you about that, that prince that who was in the hospital that my daughter was dealing with? Apparently, sometime, she was, you know, in her little student nursing thing, and there was I guess he was about 20-ish, and I guess he was a prince from some Middle Eastern country, and he was at a party, and he was doing a lot of drugs, and he was pretty drunk, and he fell out of a 4th-story window, and broke some bones. Okay, didn't die, but broke some bones.
Is this Prince Harry?
Prince Harry?
Yeah, I thought he.
Isn't he an English one?
Yeah.
No, this was a Middle Eastern
Oh,
guy.
Middle Eastern. Sorry.
Yeah. Did he do that too?
Yeah, I think he
It's a
did.
Prince thing, I don't know. So anyway, yeah, this guy was like partying and he did that, right? So, according to my daughter, the guy was kind of a jerk. He was treating the nursing staff and basically all the women in the hospital pretty bad. You know, he was telling about how all this exploiting women and all this sort of thing, and you know, he basically ordered people around and get me this and get me that, and you know, that sort of thing. Like, the guy's just a jerk, didn't like him at all, but you still have to treat him like you would treat anybody else, right? Your nursing ethics say that, and the Christian worldview says that. Okay? Again, this is a correlation where they are the same. Okay? Oh, you know what else? I'll get back to that later. Remind me about that. Okay, this should be. Can one of you guys check on LoudCloud or let me know? Is there an EQ up there that actually has the link in there and the instructions?
Yes.
Yeah, I know, there's 2. For whatever reason, the first time I loaded it in every class, it showed up as blank. Don't know why,
I saw that on mine.
but it is there now.
I saw it on mine, but that was earlier today.
Yeah, and then I loaded up another one, which the other one I don't think you can actually answer until tomorrow.
One of them is blank.
Yeah, the blank one,
Blank, but you can answer
the
now.
blank one you can answer today. The one that actually has words in it, I don't think you can start to answer tomorrow. And I think that's why it did that to me. Anyway, either way, it's up there. That's this, okay? Just read the article. Again, we don't have any mind tap at all left. We're done for the rest of the semester on that. So participation, of course, is in class and DQs. Okay? So what do you guys think of when you hear these words? Intensive care. What do you think about?
Busy.
What?
Busy, loud,
Busy, loud, stressful,
stressful.
around the clock. Okay? Fair enough. Any of you guys have any experience with people in intensive care? Like your mom? She works in intensive care. So your mom has experience with people in intensive care. Do you? You ever been in an intensive care unit? Yeah? What was that like?
My mom's one of the directors of the activity.
Uh-huh.
So I get to know her.
Oh, how cool. That's really nice.
It's a lot of, well, when I went, there wasn't a lot of younger people, but when I went, I don't know, it's really quiet in there.
Okay.
Like really, really quiet.
So when you guys were saying loud, let me say quiet. Yeah.
When I went, it was really.
I volunteered in the PICU, and it was, sometimes it was loud, sometimes it was quiet, but everyone was very strict because you don't wash your hands in someone's
the way, what's the difference between intensive care and critical care? Critical is acute? Okay. This is as good a definition as I think we've ever heard of anyone. Huh? Difference between intensive and critical care. He said it's acute, critical is acute. It can be more like long-term. Although my son was in intensive care for 23 hours a couple weeks ago. That's certainly not long care. Somebody said, I thought it was a pretty good definition, that critical care is kind of where you go before you have a surgery, and then intensive care is where you end up after the surgery, which that actually kind of holds true a lot of the time. Critical care can be an emergency room, right? Or it can be a critical care unit where you got to get this person in, some kind of emergency surgery or something like that, or they're going to die. So, has anybody been hanging around critical care units at all? Huh? You work with them?
Yeah, well, I work in the whole hospital, so.
Is it like loud, quiet?
Well, the ICU and the CCU, because the CCU at the hospital I work at is like bone marrow transplant.
Uh-huh.
And, the ICU is, more of like a lot of trauma patients go into that ICU.
Okay.
And those who, are experiencing like internal bleeding and stuff that needs to be monitored more closely. Both of them are fairly quiet, but intensive care is a little on the louder side of the three.
Okay, thanks. Yeah.
I worked in a hospital this summer, and the ICU and CCU were kind of connected. And, I mean, obviously it's a hospital, when you're in a hospital, a lot of it is sad. But when you walk into, I don't know if you experience this, right when you walk in, you just get this wave, it's like, it's a different atmosphere. And, all the nurses, because they're so used to it, talkative, they're like up and out, but right when you walk in, from my experience, like, I don't know how to act because it is all sad in there. And it was really quiet and just being leaving because of all the machines that were connected to. And every single person in there had like tubes helping breathing, and like a lot of the patients I noticed couldn't half move. That was just my experience because of how, I mean, obviously it's critical care, how intense their injury or trauma was.
Okay, good. Yeah, you see that, don't you? There's a fine line between being respectful, quiet, sad. Because you're gonna get plenty of people in that are very, very sad and concerned if somebody's in one of these units.